Hi, welcome back to Logan Simmons Photography. Yet again, great to have you here. And today we're going to take a look at another one of these new Adobe apps they just came out with. Well, they're an updated version of it, which is their Adobe Lightroom Mobile. So we're going to take a look at it on an iPhone and see kind of what these new improvements are. Big can, if you saw our video yesterday, which you can watch that video up there if you're on YouTube about the new Adobe Camera Raw, local hue plays a big part in Adobe Lightroom as well. Both on the desktop and on the phone. So I kind of want to show it to you and kind of give you an overview of Lightroom Mobile because I haven't looked at it on the channel before. But before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you know when there's a new video out. And if you do like the video after watching it, please hit that like button and comment down below what you think about the product and the video. So I've got my screen being recorded right now. So let me go ahead and show this program to you. I do have the main screen of Adobe Lightroom open right now. Now, I don't particularly use Lightroom very often, so all you see are just a few pictures I've put in here, and you can see some DNGs. It, of course, does edit RAW files, and will sync up with your Adobe Cloud if you're a subscriber to that. One thing I will note, a lot of the features I'm showing you today, especially that local hue feature, you do have to have a subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud, whether that's like a Photoshop or the whole set of programs, what have you, to access a lot of these features. So I'm going to go ahead and click this picture right here that I've already put in, and this is a picture that was taken on the iPhone itself there. And decent image here, and of course if you look here on the bottom we have all the controls on how we can do various corrections. I can go back here and go through history, different versions, what have you. I can go ahead and do that. I'm going to get out of that, or I can reset it if I don't like some of the edits I've done. I think I'm going to go ahead and do some quick housekeeping, then I'm going to show you that new feature that I really like, which is that Selective Hue, which is the main new feature here among a lot of the Adobe Creative Cloud apps. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick crop, I think. And I think over here, in fact, let me go ahead. I want to do a custom crop. I don't want to have to be constrained by that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and say, maybe about right there, kind of even it out on either side. We'll go ahead and say yes to that. And then let's go ahead and start doing the selective edits. I think one thing I'm noticing right off the bat is up top here, I think it's a little too bright. So I'm going to go click on selective. And if I hit the plus button, I can choose here from a brush, gradient, or radial filter. I'm going to do a gradient in this case. And I think I'm going to have it maybe reduce the exposure ever so slightly. And I'm going to go ahead and, not drag the status bar down if I can get away with it. There we go. And you can see it's automatically doing a little mask for me to show me what it's doing. We're going to say about right there. So, I need to get it kind of straight there. That's one thing. I'm not used to so much these touch interfaces, but there we go, more or less. Let me see if I can get up that side. It gets me a little finicky with it. That's okay though. So you can see when I start adjusting the bar, it's starting to, will just disappear that particular toolbar. So that's pretty cool. But I think I'm going to go into color, and I think I do want to go ahead and show you that Selective Hue. And if you saw the video yesterday, you'll notice this little dialog box right here. It's virtually identical to what's in the actual program in Camera and Lightroom on the desktop here. So let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and just start dragging this a little bit over here. Again, I want to make those greens a little bit more yellow. I know I do that a lot, but sometimes too much green can be pretty distracting. There we go. I think that's pretty good. So I'll go ahead and maybe hit the plus button right there. So again, pretty big difference. You can see here on the top, we went and did that selective color, made those greens a little bit more yellow. That's not something that was possible there before. So let's do a little bit more. I think I'm going to go ahead and do, down here where you see the brush, I think that's probably a little bit too green as well. So I'm going to go ahead and grab an adjustment brush. And let's see, I can just make the size a little bit bigger over here by doing this, I guess. There we go. I'm sure that's the feather. I'm getting my everything mixed up here. There we go. There's my size. And I'll go ahead and say light. I think I don't want too much about light. I think I'm going to go ahead and maybe increase some clarity there. And we'll go ahead and do a similar thing with the hue there. But of course, I'm not going to know specifically until I actually start painting in here. So let's go ahead and do that. And maybe about right there or so. And I'm going to show you the hue as I do it there. So we'll go ahead and start dragging over. There we go. That's pretty good right there. I think that's going to work for us. Now let me go back to the entire image as well. I think I'm going to go ahead and say effects. Maybe we'll go ahead and do a quick little vignette right here. I'll start bringing those edges in ever so slightly here. And if you look kind of where we started, it's actually doing quite a decent job here. Let me go ahead and get out of that menu, and we'll go back to versions. If you can see the original, that's where we started right there. And that's where the current version ends. So you can see how much that selective hue really is a big benefit. Again, very similar to Adobe Camera Raw. Don't really need to go into it too much just because of how effective it is. But if you haven't seen Adobe Lightroom, I want to show you that as well. So for example, let's say I want to go into color. Let's say, you know what, I want to do black and white. All I got to do is hit that black and white tab right there. And then I can go into mixture, and I can go ahead and say, you know, those greens, I want to go ahead and maybe make those a little bit brighter right there. Maybe do the same thing with yellows. Let's see what else I can think of. I don't think there's much in the way of a little bit of orange there, so pretty cool. And of course, you have very quick contrast, exposure, all that kind of stuff right there. Very easy to use. But I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to the way I initially did it, which is that color shot, and that's kind of where we started. Maybe we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of vibrance out there, bring that color out. I have to be kind of careful the way we do it. In fact, now that I do that, let's go ahead and do Selective Hue one more time. We'll go ahead and wrap this up. Again, just so easy to use it here. Go ahead and hit the plus button if I can do that. We'll get a new brush. And let's see how big this is. That's a decent size right there. We'll do the color. And again, we'll just go ahead and drag it ever so slightly over this way. Now let's go ahead and start painting in there. Get some of those greens, maybe up in here as well. And so easy, so user-friendly to use, and there you have it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and hit done. Actually, you know, before I do that, I just want to see how sharp this is, because there is an option. This is, of course, a shotting camera, so it's already been sharpened, but we could certainly go in here and go into detail and sharpen it up if we wanted to do that. Maybe just ever a little so slightly there. And you're good to go. So now, as I said, this will now sync with Adobe Creative Cloud, but I can also just go ahead and save it to my camera roll there. In fact, maybe I'll go ahead and do that, export to camera roll. And there we go. And I have my internet connection down just so we didn't have any interruptions. But yes, it says one photo successfully exported there to the camera roll. So again, I really think these latest updates of the Adobe Creative Cloud, which is in Photoshop and Lightroom and Adobe Camera Raw, both on desktop and mobile, really positive. Take a look at that selective hue, whether it's on your phone, your tablet, your PC, Mac, doesn't matter. Go ahead and do it. There's a link down below to learn more about it. So definitely appreciate you watching, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button if you do like it, and you have a good one. Bye-bye.